This video is not going to be a rant, it's not going to be a video response, and it's not going to be a video reaction, a game review, book review, or a film review. And of course, obviously it's not a narration because it doesn't have a title, and it doesn't have like an image going across while I narrate the story. And if you look at my head, you'll see that some of my hair is sticking out like a little fucking horn. But let's just pretend the hair horn isn't there. Every day, there is someone that we know that, whether we know it or not, is going through depression. And the reason I'm talking about this video, the reason I want to discuss it, is just because so many people on this site don't really seem to know how painful it can actually be. Like how serious it can actually affect someone. It's really hard for me to begin discussing this topic just because of the fact there were a few personal instances, a few personal connections that this topic has to myself and people around me that makes this difficult to really approach with 100% certainty about how accurately I can describe depression itself. Given statistics, 3 to 4 out of every 10 people suffers from suicide. Now, that might not seem like a tremendous number, but if you're given the fact that 6 out of 10 of those people suffers from depression, goes to show that almost 2/3, if not half of those people, will kill themselves. And now that doesn't seem like a very high number, but the fact that these people go through this at all is what makes it distressing to know. And a lot of times when people are going through depression, it's because they seem to be the happiest they've ever been. And it's because they don't tell people in fear that it could be a burden to those they love. And it's really sad. I mean, it's fucked up. Like, I can't imagine how scared a person must be to tell someone that they're feeling depressed, so that they'll feel too much of a burden will be exerted on someone else if they tell someone. Like I said, I'm having a hard time really talking about this, because I want to come off as sincere. I want to actually try to help someone with this video. To try to show people that there is at least someone on this site who isn't trying to make people with depression seem like they're pathetic, or make people with depression seem like they should be laughed at or mocked for something that they literally can't control. Most of the people born with depression, they have clinical depression, where a specific event in their life really emotionally fucks them, to where they're completely unsure of whether or not their life really has meaning, that their life really has a positive impact on anyone. And if people also have anxiety, it's utter hell for these people. Depression makes people think that they're not good enough. Anxiety helps them believe it. So a person that has high levels of anxiety along with depression is going through absolute hell on a daily basis. And most of these people are good people who have done nothing to anyone, but have either grown up in a really fucked up situation to where their emotions are just so damaged and so out of whack that they feel as though they can't tell anyone how much they actually hurt, in fear that someone will judge them for it, or in fear that they're going to cause an unneeded burden for someone else. And if the viewers out there, any of my subscribers, suffer from depression, like even if it's just something as simple as having like a really shitty day and that one day you really consider that you don't want to live anymore, Just listen to what I'm about to say. Your life does have meaning. You do matter. Don't let anyone tell you that you don't matter. Don't let anybody try to tell you that your life has no meaning. Nobody has the right to tell you that. Nobody. I don't give a fuck if it's your parent, or a friend, or a sibling, or someone that you don't know, or even some random asshole on the internet. They have no right to tell anyone that that person doesn't deserve to live, for whatever reason. Pardon the carpet. It's my sock. And if it comes to like really high up channels telling you how you should handle your depression by saying that you should just lock yourself away or that you should just isolate yourself, don't listen to that advice. Don't listen to it. Because all it's going to do is make it even harder for you to get help that you might need. You shouldn't institutionalize yourself just because someone says, your problems are too big of a deal for me to fucking care about, thusly I think you should just go in a fucking padded room with fucking your hands tied behind your back in a jacket. Like, you know very well who I'm referring to when it comes to this person just saying they should institutionalize themselves instead of actually getting legitimate help. Like, I don't need to mention his name because everyone already knows who he is. He's the biggest cock-swallowing asshole on the site. And that's really coming from someone who literally has made enemies of a long fucking list of cock-swallowing assholes. Thing is, though, even if I don't like these people, I wouldn't wish depression on them. I mean, seriously, there are a lot of people I legitimately fucking hate on this site for bullshit that they've pulled, both towards me and towards people around me, but I would not wish depression on them. Because that's too hellish for even the biggest asshole in the world to deal with. A member of my family had killed themselves because of depression. Because this person feared that they would not ever aspire to anything. They were so fucking worried about aspiring to something at such a young age that they literally fucking killed themselves to get away from the pressure and stress that their family was exerting on them for telling them that they needed to become the best at something instead of just trying to say, do what makes you happy, but at least try your best. People with depression, sad part is, they're some of the nicest fucking people out there. I mean, they're some of the nicest fucking people out there. And they're probably some of the fucking emotionally strongest that I've ever seen. Because even at a day they want to fucking kill themselves, somehow they manage to be strong enough to put on a fucking smile and pretend everything's okay. And people say that they're weak for not doing it. Like, some people literally think it's weak of them to just kill themselves. Well, I don't think they should kill themselves, but unless you're in their shoes, you literally have no fucking reason to say that they're somehow weak for not being able to take any more. If anyone out there in the audience right now knows someone with depression, tell them how much they matter. Let them know that they actually have someone who's willing to listen to them, who's willing to fucking talk to them, who's willing to actually give a fuck enough about them to actually try to fucking help them. Instead of just passe, walk away and pretend that nothing's fucking wrong with this person when they clearly need help. Because I've seen too many motherfuckers out there who think, oh, his depression's a burden on me, I'm not gonna give a fuck, I'm just gonna laugh about it and pretend there's nothing fucking wrong with him. And then when he fucking kills himself, or harms himself, like, I wonder why he did it. People today don't seem to understand that there are fucking boundaries. And it's not that they don't understand because they are unable to. They understand. If they wanted to understand, they would. It's simply because they don't choose to. They don't choose to understand. They don't choose to actually give a fuck about another person's emotional state. Like, they give more of a fuck about getting a rise out of someone than they do about actually potentially causing someone to harm themselves. Or worse. The reason I didn't monetize this video in particular is because I don't want to make money off something like this. I actually want to legitimately fucking help people. Maybe make a fucking difference. Instead of using it to generate some fucking coin. Like, yeah, I may be an asshole, but I'm not some heartless, dark-souled fuck who decides that everyone in the world needs to go suck a dick just because they have a problem or two. To many of my subs out there who have problems, who have issues out there, if you talk to me in the comments section of the video, I will listen. I will actually want to hear what you have to say. Because I feel that if someone is going through a tough time and needs to talk about it, and needs to get it out of their fucking system, they should have the right to do that. They should be given the option. Instead of just told to shut the fuck up because their problem is too medial for someone else to care about. Like, this video isn't a video response, but at the same time it contains snippets from what would be a video response. Because of how many other people on YouTube I've seen pass other people's emotional problems off as, oh well, not my fucking fault, so I don't give a fuck. Like, the fact that there are a lot of people that I love and care about in my personal fucking life that go through this sort of fucking shit makes me want to care. It makes me care because I realize that there are a lot of people out there, many of which I don't know, who go through this sort of shit. And for many of them, unfortunately, help comes too late. Because their depression gets them to believe that they don't matter. It gets them to believe that their life is meaningless, and it gets them to believe that killing themselves is the best fucking option when it clearly isn't. And I can't believe anyone, like even the biggest scum-fucked asshole, no matter who they are, no matter what fucked up shit they went through in their own life, they shouldn't just decide that another person's emotional baggage is somehow a fucking joyride for them to hop on and pretend that everything's alright with someone else. Like, especially if they can just exploit it to get notoriety or a rise out of someone. I'm looking at you, Greg. If someone actually needs help, help them. Like, if someone legitimately has fucking problems that they need help to manage or help to cope with, if it's a friend, a family member, a classmate, a parent, try to show that you actually give enough of a fuck about this person or people to want to know what's bothering them, to want to know how you can help. I mean, if this video even helps one fucking person, even one, then I'll have considered it a success. Because I don't want anyone to go through the bullshit I went through. To go through the bullshit my cousin went through before he killed himself. Go through the bullshit my girlfriend and close friends of mine have felt. Go through the bullshit my own mother has felt. And many more people that I know have felt the same way. Like, I don't want anyone, anyone at all. I wouldn't wish this on my worst fucking enemy. I don't want anyone to feel like they don't matter. So just remember, you do matter. Even if some asshole tells you you don't, you do matter. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this. And if you can help someone, please help them. Because they might not be strong enough to bear it alone.